last day yesterday. It hurts bad. What? I hurt my neck. I like pulled my neck when I was out for a rollerblade, and I woke up this morning and I like couldn't move my neck. It's horrible.
You need your hook.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll get it back to you today.
Okay. How are you?
Pretty good. Not bad.
Good. It's been a long time.
I know, like 2 weeks maybe.
2 weeks at least. For this.
Yeah. We've been hard at work offline.
We have, actually. We've been hard at work offline, trying new things locally.
And we kind of like to just pause this because we're waiting to talk to that agency on Friday.
Yeah.
The material specialists.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
So am I.
I'm nervous.
And are you? Why?
Just because what if we pay them all this money and they don't have any good ideas?
Well, first of all, we haven't paid them.
I know, but don't you think they're going to want payment before they tell us their ideas?
I almost don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to present them to us and then they're going to ask us for payment. I hope.
Yeah,
I hope. Yeah. And then that way, if they don't have anything, we're going to be like, we asked you to, like, we outlined pretty clearly what we wanted, right? But I think they're going to have some stuff for us. I don't think they would have taken it on if they weren't going to.
Yeah, and she said they were like excited about it and stuff. So
yeah, I think something might happen. And so, like, do you want to talk a little bit roughly kind of about what we've been doing offline?
Sure. So we just decided that in the meantime, we just kind of wanted to get something up and running. So, and being that it's fall and all, we decided that, and being that we live in Canada and plaid is really cool here, we thought we would start making some kids' plaid blankets. And so we just started that like last week, I think. We didn't even advertise a week ago.
Yeah.
And so we got some nice plaid, and we've just been, well, Mom made us our prototypes, basically.
Yeah.
And we sold one, but we're getting lots of interest. I just logged on Facebook and I see we might have a message again.
Are you sure?
Oh, no. No, somebody just commented on our post and reacted to it.
Yeah. So it's really good because we were trying originally with a bunch of different interests. And then yesterday I finally found like a new parent target. Yeah. And after making a video ad and targeting the new parents and, well, those two things, people are starting to actually contact us finally.
Yeah.
And yeah, like this is like a test run for real products, for like, in my mind, right? Like,
yep.
The blankets are gonna be, they're hard to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just so hard to sell.
I think as it gets closer to Christmas and stuff, because we packaged pretty nicely, like I think that might be a really good time for us. I think that September's like kind of a hard time to sell something.
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the same people who are interested in this will be interested in playmats, right? Like, it's the same group of people.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or close.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. For me anyways, like, this is just a way to practice targeting people, advertising to people, because if we don't advertise, nobody's ever going to buy anything.
Right. But I also think with playmats too, like we're going to have like a website and stuff, right? So like this is a bit like, we're on Facebook Marketplace. Like when we have a website, when people type in like children's mats, they're going to come up.
Like when people type in children's mats on Google, you mean?
Yeah. Right?
But the thing, you mean if we advertise there?
Well, if we have like a website.
But the thing is, we won't rank.
But like for natural, like how do you get us to rank?
That's like a whole other game that's really hard to play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called SEO or search engine optimization.
Okay.
And like my other stores, I've tried doing that. Sometimes it ranks, sometimes it doesn't. But it's very difficult to rank because I mean there's hundreds of other sellers. So somehow we would have to be above those people. Um, so we definitely can't rely on that, unfortunately. We're going to have to rely on advertising.
Okay.
So when people search mats and then all the other things we've talked about, like messaging people who have articles about natural play mats, and like that's kind of going to be the meat. Oh, nice. You like what I'm saying, I guess. So yeah, we won't rank it. Maybe once we start selling a ton of them, if people like them, then it'll slowly start to rank. But it's tough to get traffic that way.
So we're gonna, yeah. So I should look into like people like on Instagram and stuff that like, like do like reviews of, or like what do you call those? People that have a big following and that,
Influencers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah,
start looking
totally.
for those guys people who care about natural products.
Sure, and we'll send them a free one to like check
Exactly.
out and talk about. Yeah. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff that I think we're gonna get people interested in from.
Okay.
But there's like so many avenues, Facebook ads, Amazon,
Right.
that kind of stuff, like emailing bloggers, emailing influencers, like on and on and on, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so if it does end up getting built and we like it, it's yeah, I don't have too big of a concern, but we can't really do that with our blankets. It would just be silly, right?
All right.
Yeah.
I actually
But
emailed that gift shop in St. Albert that I was talking to you about,
oh,
or
oh yeah.
like called Seasons Gift Shop. So I just emailed them to see like how they get their vendors. And
Okay.
she was like, we like love supporting local. She's like, we're like our store is pretty full right now, but could you send me some information so we can keep it on file? So I sent her our Instagram and Facebook page, and she responded right away. And she's like, unfortunately, we can't carry handmade kids products because of our insurance.
Yikes. Hmm. So does that mean they don't carry blankets?
Well, that's what I was thinking, John, afterwards, because I'm like what's constitutes like handmade? Like I don't understand. Like if it comes from a factory, it's okay, but if it comes from my mom's house, it's not.
Yeah, that's really weird. Maybe it's just an excuse.
Maybe.
But that's awesome you did that. I'm sure if we did that to a bunch of stores here, we'd get them in some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
But
I'll
I
know
guess
what to do.
the question is like, is this something, even though this is a practice thing, is this even like a worthwhile practice thing? That's kind of what I'm asking myself, just because the way the prices work. Like right now, the fabric's back up to 15, between 10 and $15 per
Meter.
meter.
What is it?
So it's like, it's so hard. We got a good deal the first round, but 15, like, we need money to spend on ads. Like I said
Okay.
yesterday, I think we need $10 for like 10, $15 per sale,
Okay.
right? But the thing is the scale that we're doing it at, like only like 80 people have seen that ad. The one that we started yesterday, like it's only 80 people. You could get it in front of 10,000 every day if you spent $100, right? So
Right.
like as soon as the idea is like you figure out at a small scale how much, not how much, you figure out at a small scale the ad that gets people interested. So like let's say we figure out that our new ad, every 100 people that see it, roughly one person buys. once we get that number set up, then we can just like slam the gas on it, and we can put it in the States, and like we can get it in front of,
Oh,
like I said, 10,000 people a day or whatever. And then if one person buys out of 100, that means you could sell 100 a day. I'm
right.
not saying that's going to happen with the blanket, but like that's kind
I,
of the idea with yeah, that's kind of
okay.
the idea with the ads. So like it's just a matter of like finding the combination, and then we can scale it, and that's like how it's done, right?
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I just wish we could figure out something else that's a like the blanket. I think it's hard. It's also hard to get people excited about just like a piece of fabric, you know?
Yeah. No, I know. Well, how are we doing with that tea there?
It's such a mess. It's the same thing as the blanket. Like it's gonna cost so much just to get it done. And the only way it would be cheap is if we did it just like everybody else. And if we do that,
We're
like,
not.
is there even a point? Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So, well, we need some new ideas.
we do. We need some new ideas. And I think we need to just go on like Amazon, go to the best sellers for kids and just look at the stuff and just like,
Okay.
find stuff. And then kind of like the blanket, I feel like we could do a combination of the blanket and something else, you know?
A little package.
Yeah, like maybe even the blanket and the chew toy, but still it's just I don't know.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Mm.
So these are the struggles of the Unnamed Kid Co right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Okay.
But the thing is, all we have to do is figure out one that works. And then, like, seriously, the sky's the limit. Like, I've done this many times before. Most of the stuff that's worked for me, like in my other online stores, has been Google ads. So it's a little bit different because, like, I started a store 4 or 5 years ago, and like the first day that I put Google ads up, I sold three. And ever since that day, I've sold like five, six a day for years. So it's just
Wow.
like yeah, it's just like finding the right combination. And once we get it, like it'll go from zero to like super fast. You know what I
And
mean?
yes, how much does a Google ad cost?
The ads that I make money from on my other store, I spend about $100 a month. That's really cheap. That's like
Oh,
so cheap. I got really lucky there. But typically they cost, depending on what you're selling, like $1, $2 per click,
okay.
which means that, and you might only sell 10% of those clicks. So that means you need to spend like 10 or 20 or $30 on advertising per sale.
Right.
So there has to be enough margin in there for us to advertise because we're going to have to in the beginning, and then also make a little bit of money, make it worthwhile doing, right?
Yeah.
But I do think those kids, I think they're that like not those kids, those like blankets, or I think we're so close. I think we're so close. I just don't know if that is exactly right yet. So I don't know. Maybe after we talk to the material people, they'll give us ideas for materials that are going to work for other things too.
Right.
Like your changing pad, that kind of stuff.
And
Like maybe we can start.
yeah, that's
Okay.
something we can do
Yeah.
eventually.
Hmm. So unfortunately, right now it's like an exercise in advertising, right? That's kind of what we're doing,
Hmm.
trying to figure out how to get stuff in front of people that they actually like.
Right.
And it's hard. It's hard. But yeah. And yeah, we're just advertising in Canada right now. Like what we should probably be doing if we were more serious about the blankets is send them to Amazon. And then when somebody messages us on Facebook for a purchase, we can just ship it out of the Amazon center. Like it's just you type in the address and it ships automatically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it only costs about $7 to do that as opposed to going to Canada Post and it's going to cost like 13.
So how many like products does Amazon need to have in order for like do you just need to give them one?
Yeah,
And is it easy to set up?
it's really like all the other stuff I sell on there. It's so easy. I would just use that account for the time being.
Okay.
But the problem is we have one of each color.
I know.
So, uh, it's kind of, and obviously they would also be for sale on there. And we can pay money to make it so that if anybody searches kids blanket, receiving blanket, any of those kinds of terms, that we're up at the top. Like we can
Oh,
pay to, when you see sponsored.
yep.
Yeah, I do that for everything I sell on Amazon, and it makes a huge difference.
Okay.
So, like, if we were really serious about that blanket idea, then we should probably be doing that. And then the other thing is, we can do the same thing in the States. We can send them into a warehouse in the States, and then our ads can go into the States, and like, it's just a totally different ball game. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yep. Then like I mean, why don't one day this week I can go to Fabricon and just see like or look elsewhere for plaid fabric. Like but maybe we
Yeah.
should have a couple more in stock than one of each color.
Well, I think if I think what we should first try and do is hang on, I have to clear my throat.
Yeah.
I think that we should try and sell the four that we have left.
Okay. Like on
If
Facebook.
yeah, if we can't sell them the way we're doing it, I think it's going to be really hard to sell them anywhere else, even though we don't have a store. And if people want something, they buy it.
Right.
Like you were saying, you bought something on Facebook the same way just for the other day for Jason, right?
Hmm.
Like if you see something you like, does if I saw something I like, I don't care if I have to message them and say I want one. Like that's almost in a way that's almost has its advantages too because it seems so personal.
Right.
Um, I just had an idea. Like, what if we embroidered the name of the kid on the blanket?
Yeah. It's a
Oh
nice
no. Well,
touch.
yeah,
Well, maybe we advertise that and like for extra we could do that.
yeah, possibility. Yeah. So, but the other thing is, like, let's say we do sell these four and you still really believe in this, then I think that we should find somebody to manufacture them for us.
Okay.
Like, no buying fabric, no sewing, no nothing. We just do an order of 100 because if we did that, they'd be way cheaper than what we're paying right now.
Okay.
Right? Find the fabric, find somebody to sew it, get an order of 100. Like, say we spend, they'd probably be $3 or $4 each, and then at least we can probably bring the price down, and then we have some room to actually advertise.
But where do we find that kind of fabric for that cheap?
Yeah,
It's from the manufacturer
yeah, I think so.
or
I mean, because it's so simple, I think it would be easy to figure out. I was looking a little bit already.
okay.
Yeah. And I think we can probably do it. And they can like sew the tag in and all that stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, if we can't sell any,
I know.
like this is how we're doing it all right. Like we're doing it. This is how you should do it. You test, see if it's sellable. If it is, you buy more. If it's not, we just move on. And we've
Oh,
lost like 20, well, more than 20, but we've lost like 50 or $40.
right.
We can, yeah, we can do that 10 times until we find something that works. Not a
Yeah.
big deal.
Okay.
So that's the state of the union for the Unnamed Kid Co at the moment.
That's right. And that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, and that's okay. And the other thing I was thinking of is like how we need to. I don't like to have Enzo's face in the ads. Like you, I'm sure you don't either.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I always want to cover him up. But I was thinking you sent me such a funny video yesterday that I just can't stop watching. And I think that needs to be on the Facebook page because you don't even see him, right? It's just him from the back.
Yeah.
So like I
Oh.
almost think I think we should probably make a post of that and we should use that. We should promote that post.
But it has no blanket in it.
I know, but it's so attention grabbing that like it's just one of those things.
Oh.
I just think it's worth a shot.
Well, and you
Mm.
know what? The other thing too is like when all the other accounts I follow, like when you follow like anybody, they don't just post their thing. They post like funny memes and like little quotes and like inspirational shit, right?
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the song. You might have some rights attached, and sometimes there's issues with that. Like, what song
Yeah.
is that?
What were you listening to? Let me just pull up the video. Oh, it was an Ed Sheeran song, but it was what rapper is that? It's so funny. Oh, it's a Taylor Swift song.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll just cut it off before he spins around, hey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
See if you can post that. Maybe if it's a post, they won't care if it's a copyrighted song. Because
Right.
you hear songs in posts all the time, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Should be fine. So if you want to, oh no, I already have the video. I can cut off the end, or
I
can you do that as well?
I just
Oh,
cut
okay.
it.
And if you want, like we could put above and below, like in the other video, plaid flannel receiving blankets. Are
I
you
was
still there?
me?
Yeah, oh, okay. There you are.
I was even thinking of just putting like plaid flannel blankets.
Okay. The
Um,
only reason I put receiving is because it clues people in that it's not just a blanket.
yeah, no, I think that's fine for our ad.
Yeah.
Just like another way to do it, we could just put blankets.
Yeah. Because if it says blankets, then it's unclear exactly. Like, are you just selling flannel blankets?
Right.
That's why I put receiving. And I wasn't sure if I should use receiving or kids blankets, but
I think we can try both ways, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just make a post with that.
Yeah, make a post with that. It'll probably go viral and then we'll have nothing to sell.
I know.
That
What?
would be
Okay.
frustrating. Um, I don't know. You'll have
Something
to
about
think
like when the beat drops or like
yeah.
something like that. Like when you gotta stop and break it down.
Okay, yeah. Okay, do that. We'll let's end this call here because I'm sure it's going to be super boring to watch right now.
Yeah.
And once it's posted, let me know. And I also tried to make that store again this morning on Facebook,
Yeah.
like the Facebook shop. So I tried, I couldn't get it to work. There's actually checkout on Facebook now. Did you see that?
No.
So you don't even need a store. Like I think it's so smart. You just have like we'd have a list of products right on the Facebook page. and it looks like a store, and then people just press like checkout. They don't even have to go anywhere.
Because that's where I was thinking, that's where we lose people, and that's where I lose interest too. Is like when I agree the personalization of messaging somebody, but then when you're going back and forth, you've moved on, especially on Marketplace, right? Like you're like
Yeah,
the next person who responded sooner. You know what I mean? Like it's such a weird,
true.
some of these things.
Yeah. Yeah, Marketplace is very bad for that. But we're not on Marketplace the way we're doing it.
I
Like the
get
way we're asking. Yeah, like those are ads just with a message component. But I agree, you might have people do things a little bit more sporadically, like just check out.
that's what I think.
Yeah. But I really don't think that there would be a big difference.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but God knows if I'm right. Like, I don't know. That's just my feeling. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I tried to set up the shop. It looks like all you need is an American bank account, which I have. We can use that account. So I try to set it up, and then I have a problem. I can't set it, like, there's an issue. I can't get past a certain page on Facebook because it wants me to create a new page, but I want to do it for our page. So then I go to the help section in Facebook and ask for help, try and submit the help question, and then that page doesn't work. There's an error on the page. Like every time I try and submit it's just like, are you serious? So I gave up this morning because what do I do?
No.
So bad. It's so badly
Shit.
designed. It's so shitty. But that feature, that like checkout feature where it's like a store on Facebook is only 3 months old. It's like brand new. And I think it could be great because, especially for little stuff like this, you don't even need to set up the website. People aren't like, I think people will be happy to pay Facebook. They're going to think, well, I'm giving the money to Facebook. And if something happens, like, I'm just going to go to them and say I didn't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think it could be great, but God knows how to get it set up.
that sucks.
So frustrating. Anyways,
Okay. Um, do you know, actually, no, yeah, that's all good. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post that, but I'm also gonna post it to my personal one, and then I'm gonna tag Thumbs Up Kid Co in it. So then you're brought back to our page.
okay, but I want to talk about this personal stuff.
What personal?
It
Oh,
like using the personal stuff because if we use them right now, we're still not going to get a good idea of if the blankets sell and we have to do another round. So I'd much prefer to just
keeping it
use like,
on. Okay, okay.
yeah,
But I
yeah, I
think, on the other hand, I do think if, yeah, it might be a friend who buys it, but if they tell somebody I don't know and I have no reach to, or if they start sharing it to theirs and they reach all these other people, like that's how things get attention.
I totally agree with you, but I think it's more important for a more important product like the mat.
Okay.
In that sense, I'd say like for sure it has to spread that way. But if this can't be taken off the ground just by ads, then I feel like it's
I,
not a good one to do
okay.
just via ads. Because the way we're going to try and sell them, like if we're going to sell these blankets and it's going to make any money, we have to sell a lot of them.
Right.
We're making a few dollars each blanket.
I
So
know.
it like that network effect, I totally agree. It's the most important thing.
Okay.
But in for this stuff, I really think we just need to see, can we figure out a way to get an ad running that sells the blanket,
Okay.
to
Yeah.
people we don't know. And
Right.
then we can scale it into the States and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay. We'll leave it.
that we're getting a lot of attention, and maybe what we eventually end up doing is just changing the Facebook page we're using to this company page, like as we figure out what we're doing here,
Right.
so we don't lose all that like momentum and like comments and right, like I don't want to throw that away.
No. Fair enough.
Anyways, that's that.
Okay. Sweet.
So we'll boost that post. You're gonna post it and then tell me, and then I'll boost it.
Yeah. Just like
Okay.
a regular post, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't press the boost button, but I'll just go into the ads manager and I will run an ad based on that post
Sure.
to the same audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Love you. Talk to you
Look,
later.
talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.